eating sardines.
Okay then, G2 will be starting on the CT side. Apex has the forward spawn for the pistols. We've seen peeks up front from Shox before. His spawn is not terrible either, and I'm sure he will be looking for the duels. NBK will be the defuse kit and smoke man, but Shox is sure to take a point look over towards A. Love to see that from his perspective. So far, so good. One player around the playground area, Hutchie, making his way. And Shox will take care of him as well. Just the one click, 5 versus 2. Maybe they are sardines after all, Dan.
2 bullets, all that's needed from Shox for 2 kills. Yes, it has gone quite poorly, and despite the fact that they've been able to walk into B, that is by design. They're playing A retake, rather B retake, RG2. A is the harder site to retake, so that's why you do it this way. And it's not going too well here so far for Vega Squadron. They've now collected the bomb, but Chopper will get double teamed, and now Mir will have to do it all on his lonesome. 1 versus 4. There's a smoke on MBK, although that's not going to be too necessary. The kit on MBK as well, and 2 players to respond very quickly. Apex first contact, and an immediate frag. That was very comfortable. The pistol rounds have not looked that comfortable this tournament. That was really clean.
It was a solid start, like a mallet through mashed potatoes. But what is the play from Vega Squadron? They have the opportunity to force buy here. Hutchie has done so. The buy is coming in slow. Mir's opted for the scout. If you buy Kevlar in the pistol round and you get 1 kill at the very least and lose the rounds, then you can always buy a scout. And Mir has done that. Rifles for the G2 side. The odd grenade here and there, but they will rely on the bullets, it seems. Shox is just keeping an eye on things in the connector position, but he's holding a Molotov in his hands, and Chopper's already past the angle, and Shox will die for his insolence. He likes to make those kind of plays with smokes and Molotovs, but normally he's slowly peeking an angle, but there, no sound cues were given away. If a CT is running towards connector and a T rushes down the ladder, the CTs will always hear them as they make their way down, but you can avoid giving a sound cue off by the ladder and land on a crate below and then get a sneak on those CTs.
Ooh, teasing JR. That scout. They've got the 5v4 and they want to use those numbers. They are creeping. The info's there and has been there for a while now from G2. Yeah. Almost at the ends here. Will they be able to get these entry frags cleanly? They have some dangerous weapons to deal with, but Hutchie with a nice opener. Now down to Apex. So many targets, but gets himself 2. The third looks pretty good as well. Still alive, still kicking. Got teammates now to back him up as well. MPK finds a forward position, and a round that looked like it could have gone very poorly does end up being saved, although they do lose 3 players, but that's okay. No bomb was planted, and they should have a breather now against the Glocks.
That is a very important and difficult cleanup. Apex doing a lot there. His teammates running some distraction as well, but managed to get a number of kills. Difficult start for G2. A bumpy start in round number 2 with Shox going down there, but they got away with it. But they do not want to repeat the same mistakes moving forwards against an ever dangerous Vega Squadron. Apex holding a pop flash towards B in case there's a monster rush from his teammates, but the T's will be focusing on short B for the time being.
Shox just actually pushed Fountain quite deep just very quickly, so he has all the info in the world as to exactly what's happening. You can see the positioning is there as well, and it's a really quick pincer movement from G2 as they will clean up very effectively indeed. 2 kills for Shox with the SMG. That's nice considering he did die the previous round, so he'll make some of that money back.
Buy time. G2 may end up with less money in the hole than they otherwise might have. That's quite reasonable actually, considering the losses in round number 2, but they're still okay. It seems Shox might continue with the MP9. That will be quite curious if he plays around connected and sure, but if he goes anywhere beyond that, he may be in trouble unless he can get an upgrade. So we'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, it looks like Hutchie will be lurking towards B, where there are 3 CTs in play. Kenny going for a fast pick, but Mir manages to avoid it. Again, Shox is in connector, and Apex and Body have gone for a short B take. So that's a nice stronghold around the B bomb site, but Vega Squadron are just walking into B.
Yeah, looking to just get the aim battles, and so far it's going to go pretty well. Chopper with the money Molotov there to force Body out of the sandbags position, force the smoke it off to stay alive and hold on to that area, but it's going to be a bit of an awkward predicament because he's got two teammates sort of behind him. There's only one man, it's Kenny, who's on the A site that could potentially come from another position. This is really very awkward for G2. I have no idea how they're going to manage to pull this one off against 5 players who are currently in position to defend this bomb site. So they may just try to contain and do as much damage as possible. We'll have to see. The bomb has ticked quite far already, so it does look like exit frags, maximizing the damage is going to be the play here, as opposed to trying to win the round.
Containment. G2 are stuck in a jar at the moment, and they may be crushed into a petri dish if Vega Squadron have their way. The flank coming from Monster will do some more damage, but Kenny, it seems, may survive unless there's a late frag from Kashanda. Can't quite do it. An expensive round for both teams, but Vega Squadron are on the scoreboard. They've put a line in chalk, but can they add to it? All the circles resume once again. G2 back on the buy, instantly changing it for a double AWP setup. You may, sometimes you see double up and it's on Shock, sometimes you see it on NBK, sometimes even auto snipers on NBK, but for now, he will be wielding the second sniper rifle, 3 M4s as well, bunch of grenades on the French boys. In the meantime, Chopper's down to the UMP, thanks to the war of attrition in the previous round. He is towards B at the moment. Just initial map control being taken by Vega Squadron, but fairly quickly as well. Kenny looking for a pick as per usual. Vega Squadron looking to pinch short B. May keeping an eye out for any flanks. And I suppose there might be a flashbang from the monster area to allow these players. There it is, you see the line, and here they go. So, B split coming your way.
Position there from the likes of Body to get the damage in. He has the support of Shock. Shock's turning attention to... Oh! Gets one with the USP. I thought it was actually a double, but it's the flames there from Apex to finish off PUBG. Good damage done with the remainder of the USP bullets before going down. It's just JR left, using the smoke to try to provide some cover, create some obscurity as to what he's actually doing here, with plenty of time to rotate towards A if he wants. If he does wait for long enough, this could serve to split the attention of the two G2 players. But so far, they are holding towards the B bomb site. And that is a smart way to play it because they understand the way the timing is. He couldn't have possibly been at A yet. Very well played by G2, holding their nerve, playing passively, and as a result, Vega's economy is now crushed.
I heard that slap from here. I don't know if that was picked up on the mic, but Apex just gave a massive slap to his teammate.
One quick point actually. The round that G2 did concede, have to throw respect to G2 to actually whoever made the call saying, guys, look, our odds to win this round are like 1%, like really, really low. Let's just actually save. When there's like 4 guys left alive, all outside the site just as the bomb was planted because the positioning was so awkward. That to me is a really good sign because G2, typically are a team that you associate with playing maybe over aggressively or being a bit overconfident, but that was a great call.
Vega Squadron down to pistols for the most part. Mir standing out with the UMP, and they will have big presence in Connector, trying to catch somebody unawares as they did with Shocks in an earlier round. But no one's there this time. G2 know that they can abuse the range advantage they have. They know what they've done to the economy, but Shocks is still looking for a forward play. And you may wonder, oh, he's at risk of dropping a rifle, but it may be a smoke deployed by a teammate, or he may use a teammate as bait because Apex is holding the line towards toilets as well. So we'll see how that plays out. In the meantime, Kenny opens up on this anti-eco round. Shots against the pump flash, actually. He'll take some aggression, try to spray through the wall, not quite working out for him. He can back up, however, through the smoke. He's still safe, but Kenny's got a lot of work to do in the fire as well. Apex holding things down, leaving Hutji alone. No one dying for G2. Perfect round for them.
Yeah, a little bit awkward in some spots, but otherwise, indeed, they lose no one. And that's always a good sign. And their economy is starting to feel the benefits. Now, the curious thing is when Vega have money again, exactly how they will decide to approach things. Because G2 we haven't really seen KennyS go off yet. We've seen him take a couple aggressions with the AWP, as you expect, towards the fountain, the very classic AWP aggression on the A side of the map, but he hasn't really been successful. As soon as KennyS starts getting himself going, that's going to be problematic for Vega. So they've yet to really see the full strength of G2 here. There's a lot of problems, and I'm very curious how they will have approached, or will have looked to approach this. But for now, it's just going to be Glocks again, so can't really expect too much here.
Apex over towards the B bomb site now. He's the third man in that position. 3 kills, and he will back off towards Graffiti, it seems, taking some damage, but he's done his job. May even rotate later on. Shox always, I love this kind of Shox, always active no matter what the situation, moving around the connector position once again, looking for it. Meantime, NBK and Body are holding things down on the B bomb site, and Shox is there to flank or cut off any rotation should it be required. Nice stuff from him. Didn't get a chance to talk about it in that round, but there was a position that Kenny takes outside A, up on a plant box, for lack of a better term, which looks towards connector and toilets. But next time I see it, I'll try to point it out. It is a useful position for those of you at home to take. You can, if you have somebody supporting you around the inside of the toilets or long, then it can be pretty strong as long as your aim is as well. 6-1, and we are at a timeout, a tactical timeout by Vega Squadron.
Yeah, it's a pretty good moment for it. Right now, G2 are swimming in confidence. Again, as I said, it's only really KennyS that we've yet to see being activated, and this could very well be that round. We will likely see an aggression from him. That said, in sort of anticipation of this tactical timeout, we may see G2 do a bit of a mix-up to their aggression. Maybe take Suez. That would be a very good mix-up right now, because Vega have also found a lot of confidence in trying to move towards B, so taking that away could be a good option. But instead, 4 players towards A here. G2 mixing it up absolutely.
Shadow on the verge of 007. We hear some calls, and Hachi has realised what's going on, but even if you realise, Kenny may shut you down regardless. 2 players hunting for him, they're still dueling. That's surely crazy. Why did they keep giving him opportunities? Scary stuff for Vega Squadron. Mir is still hanging around, and Apex is on the flank actually, so there could be a trade, worst case scenario, or best case scenario here for Vega Squadron now. See if Mir can take out Apex before Apex repositions. Yes, just about. Not sure if they know where the bomb is, but there's a play being made in turn B. NBK dancing around the pillar, just a pistol. AWP comes out now. He's got the angle, and he has a shadow advantage as well. He'll see JR's shadow if he moves out, but he's backing up. Look at the timing though. That's unbelievable. That's the bomb not spotted by G2.
JR, can he do something with this? It's going to be very, very awkward. NBK seems very aware of the situation. Love the choice to pull out the 5-7. One of the few people choosing a CZ over the, or rather, sorry, a 5-7 over the CZ. And he's actually taken a more passive position. And being the lone player on the bomb site, that makes a lot of sense. You can have a sort of catch-all position where you may give up a bomb plant, but at the very least you do not die and you hold on to your position and maybe even get the opportunity for a straight frag and you end the round instead. So we'll see what he can do here, trying to avoid any potential flashbangs, learn exactly where the sounds are coming from as well. Did he hear the footsteps of bomb planted? NBK makes his way forwards, looking for that first shot. There is the back of JR, and where's the next one? That's the question. Mir darts in as quickly as possible, needs to prevent a potential defuse. There's a catch onto NBK, but now they know where he is. Surely this is too difficult for Mir. The defuse comes in and Body wins the 1v1.
Flashbang came from the high grounds, but unfortunately NBK didn't have the right angle, which may have given an extra kill to Vega Squadron. But ultimately, there are no more rounds just yet. Kashanda has made it to 007 status. Tuxedo is being measured up as we speak. Chopper's only got 1 kill. Not a lot is going well for Vega Squadron at present. There's still time for recovery, however, so while it looks disastrous now, it can still look quite reasonable towards the end. They are on an AK buy, and if they lose this, they'll be at maximum loss bonus, so at least there's that going for them. But KennyS is on the prowl, does not have rifle support apart from NBK and long, and maybe he doesn't need it. He's got the smoke to escape into, disappear into the ether.
And this is what we're talking about, getting KennyS into these positions early into the round. Will get spotted, does. Oh, there you go. Good scope from MB. Oh, KennyS, what is going on? This is brilliant stuff. And if there's any question as to his form in this Overpass game, well, he's definitely answered it. And it just gets worse here for Vega Squadron. If you go towards B, you're running into MBK with the AWP. If you go towards A, you're going to get caught by KennyS. And we do have to note that they did have the flashbang for him to defend against that first kill, but the timing was just ever so slightly off, and that cannot be the case against the likes of KennyS.
That was explosive. Explosive.
Oh, the timing is on the flashbang.
God damn. So look how fast it is though. Marvelous. It's the Kenny that you love to see, and he's only got 5 kills in this round. It's in this game. It's Apex who is lighting up the charts at the moment with 12 kills. NBK not far behind him with 10. Apex has been putting on a performance towards A and B. He's everywhere. He's omnipresent. Tactical timeout from Vega at the moment. They are 1 for 8. Almost literally nothing is working for them at all.
Yeah, this is the problem. One of the reasons why I felt like they would get crushed is just because of the fact that G2 get to start on the CT side, and if they get the good start, which they obviously did, they won the pistol, then you get this situation where this is one of the best maps for G2 in the sense that they can just activate all of the skill on their team. They can do all kinds of aggressions all across the map and just really just shut down a T side. And the way to combat that is a very strong tactical play. And we're not really seeing that from Vega. You have to have all the right timings on the pop flashes. You've got to have the perfect spacing of your teammates and map control. It's very difficult against such a good team like G2, and it's only going to get more difficult here as Shox gets the opening kill.
G2 started with 4 players in or towards B that round. Apex on the high ground, flashing for his teammates, then moving back towards A to join KennyS. And again, Vega Squadron now at maximum loss bonus, so they'll spend more than they normally would on this eco round, but so far it will yield a little. Shox having a jump peek, seeing what's going on in short B. And they'll just wait. There's no need for G2 to seek information in this situation. But he's found himself a little trick. He's found a gap. A peephole, Dan. He's a voyeur.
Nothing yet though. Vega just holding their positions, but G2 they don't care. They have maximum utility still basically. And Body will, with the help of MBK, be able to defend the rest of the onslaught. So clean.
Damn.
So clinical. So confidence from the G2 lads. They are having a ball at the moment. 9-1, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon, honestly. KennyS is at the point where he is losing money by winning rounds. The last 2 rounds, he's had 16k and bought a grenade. So yeah. he's spending $300 per round. NBK's at a clean 16k, Body's at 12. I could go on, you can see it on your screens. So funnily enough, this is to me the Vega Squadron problem, where it's not enough at this point where you win 1 round, you need to win 2 rounds, 3 rounds, because there's so much money on the other side. This is what Vega Squadron do to other teams. This is what has made them notorious at majors. So a new attempt here, but a new setup from G2. G2 never been predictable. Apex now sitting by the tree. Oh, that is gorgeous from Apex. Very clean fragging from G2 across the board, and Apex only continuing the trend. Kashanda now leading the way. The Body with the angle is going to win the first frag. There's no trade. No one had the spacing for it, and they get picked off, pulled apart limb by limb until there's just nothing left. Except JR and AWP, and he can't even see his opponent before he gets killed. That's horrible. That really just tells you everything. That's a good metaphor for the game right now, James, because it does feel like they're playing blind against G2.
I love the setup in Connector. Something I've wanted to see as well is an AWP looking towards Party, standing on the shelves, while you have a second player focusing on the Connector position itself. Nice. Works very well for G2 in that round. 10-1. We're back at the horse racing odds. And Vega Squadron's horse looks limped down. It may have to be put down. They have got some rifles, but they have very minimal grenades. And they will make the best of it by rushing straight into the B bomb site. There are flashbangs, but it's a T site getting the kill so far. But look at them raining into the CTs. Apex cleaning things out, and that round is done just like that.
I was looking at that and I'm like, whoa, body's dead immediately. MBK did very well to get one kill, being completely blinded. They're going to lose the bomb site, maybe there's a chance. But then after the flashbang's gone, you see that Apex has 4 kills. So let's have a look here. Apex's perspective, just erasing them one by one. Oh my god, it is crazy.
There is no god, Dan. There is no god. There's only G2.
Everyone's firing off on G2. This is amazing. And this is one of the things as well that people would say about G2 is that, you know, Apex's inconsistency, you know, maybe the inconsistency from Kenny or Shocks, and just generally that's something that plagues them. And if everyone turns up, they win tournaments. That's the form they're showing against Vega at the moment. And you've got to respect as well, they're anticipating what Vega are doing. I don't think they've ever run exactly the same setup in any one of these CT rounds.
Can we just note the timing of that high explosive grenade? In case a T is waiting for the Molotov to go, just standing there, I'll throw a grenade, get wrecked. Speaking of wrecked, Chopper lands a headshot, but is it just a consolation? Oh, okay. Maybe they have a chance to plant the bomb, or maybe not, because Apex is still alive. He's 19 for 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Not looking to stop anytime soon, but Kashanda continuing the Deagle antics, but the grenade dropping the nuke on top of Kashanda, and Kenny S is going to hold on to the B side as Shocks deals with the assault towards A. Mir trying a desperation plant perhaps, but knows that he can't. Shocks lurks. He has to take down the Guardian, but the Guardian will be successful. Shocks the Sentinel. G2 12 rounds. Vega Squadron 1.
Edge shots, even from Vega Squadron. But not enough to win a round. Not enough. 12-1. Full buy from Vega Squadron, 4 AKs, JR with the AWP. Vega Squadron don't have all the kills in the world at the moment, nor do they have the rounds. But maybe that will change in round number 14. Once again, Shocks is in connector. Kashanda may look for him a bit later on. Chopper has made his way through short B and picked off Body, who was boosted, I think, by Apex. So there's an early frag. But can they capitalize on this?
Yeah, Kenny S might be in a predicament here because you can see he's quite paranoid of the potential for the players to come up towards the party area to take him down, but he can rely upon Shocks to keep him safe. The rifle support, Kenny is holding the back, but they're also now going to be aware that with their presence spotted, 2 players in connector, that they can just leave that A is open. But this is an oversight here for Vega because now they, I mean, okay, sure, you've got the A bomb site potentially, but you need to bring the bomb with you, and Shocks is going to just annihilate any chances in this round.
I'm not sure if Shocks actually saw the bomb. Well, he ran past it, but I don't think he necessarily saw it. But someone must have seen it on the radar, surely. That is so weird.
I don't know if Vega Squadron saw it because they just left it there. To be honest, the team was moving on without it. Oh my.
I don't think he saw it.
Oh, okay, well this is getting interesting. Despite that, what a weird round. Despite that, still, Vega are making the frags happen, so MBK. 1v3, do you fancy it, James?
I'm still processing the bomb thing, but
I know, right?
MBK should hear the footsteps of Chopper, but it is dangerous. Everything's dangerous for MBK at this point. That's a lovely burst, isn't it? Let's be honest, it's a lovely burst. Let's not lie to ourselves. 1 versus 2 for NBK. He's on the wrong bomb site, and both players are around the connector position. He will be heard. Gambles must be taken, trying to speed up the stairs. Free frag for Mir. Round number 2 for Vega Squadron.
The 2 rounds they've won, I don't know, like, it's kind of hard to really put your finger on it. I mean, the first round they won looks more like a real round. I mean, this round was just very weird. Obviously, as you say, you know, Shocks, they hold on to connector, and it's kind of crazy that he decides to push that position because they're in a spot where they do have advantage. I think the reason is mostly just due to the fact that they are like, hey, we've given up A-long completely. We can't rotate out of this position, so we have to just push forwards with 1 player. So that made sense, but then it got very weird very quick. But they have unlimited money, so Kenny S looking for a quick one. Won't get it, though. He does get tagged down to 19. That's going to be Kenny S back towards A.
After Chopper's pick towards short B, there's been a push in short B from Apex and Body, and this time Chopper, he keeps changing the scenario there, the established information, and that forces G2 to force their way back into B, as you just saw. And now Chopper's gone around. Chopper is making a nuisance of himself in the last round, but is it too little too late? The score, after all, is 2-12 in favor of Vega's opponents.
Holding steady at the moment. It's actually just Shox here towards the A site. Everybody else sort of rallying and gambling towards B. However, Shox is in a good position to potentially get some information and slow players down. He does not have any smokes, though. A smoke would go a really long way in sort of delaying Vega and allowing him to get some more teammates onto the bomb site of A before they're able to push onto it, but that's not the case here. So he's going to really have to get a frag or two if he possibly can. Falling back might be quite difficult once he is spotted. There's a multitude of Molotovs ready for him, but looks like we're going to get the split from A long, mostly. 2 players here towards toilets. Shock should hear everything, surely. There's the rotation now.
1 player past Shox, 1 player in front. Oh, he loses to Jewel as well. Kenny's body at the back of the site, trying to get into position. Flashback to buy time. And there is Kenny. No trace to these kills. Finally, Kenny goes down, and body almost in stereo fashion. Apex 1 versus 3. Can he rack up some more? Trying to advance as quick as he can. Goes for the 180, but nothing doing. Vega Squadron get a 3rd round on the board.
Very rough game for them, though, and credit for to G2. Everybody firing off. Great positioning, great mix-ups on their setups across the map, good aggressions, always trying to anticipate Vega Squadron, and it was hard for Vega Squadron to really get ahead. We only really saw it come out of just making some individual plays work, and they have only 3 rounds, so pistol round obviously a must. It's going to be tough, though. What is G2 going to choose?
Chopper's got the most forward spawn on Vega Squadron, so I do wonder if we will see him going for a pick towards the, or beyond the fountain position. G2 look ready. The freeze time is on 10. We will soon be into the pistol round. JR with a smoke grenade. Hutchie's been made raid boss. He's got a CZ, so I do wonder where he will be headed. Is he going to be making a play towards B? Will it be towards short B? It is towards B with Hutchie. So he's going somewhere with the CZ, maybe looking for a monster push. In the meantime, Chopper and Kashanda are looking towards Fountain, but it is going to be B plane. Hutchie's there on his own with the CZ. Going to be the best he's did of all time, but it's not. Just the 1 kill instantly traded and nobody else is there.
He did very good damage to MBK as well. Maybe there's opportunity in that. Shox, though, looking to hold on to the Suez position. Good spot. Oh, that's a nice tap. Very patient from Shox. Looking for 2. It will only be 1, though, but the info is there for his team as they look to hold on to the bomb plant. MBK for the investigation, but they'll make their way as 3 through the monster tunnel onto the site as the bomb ticks away. Apex will get the info and the flank from the weak player. This could be the game-changing move, but it's very hard to get that consistency from that Glock. NBK, what will he get from this? Have to get the diffuser, that's beautiful. How much time did he save, though? Not enough, I don't think.
Looks like Vega Squadron have survived a very early bath. But let's see. It's a French team. Well, I was going to say will there be a force fire, but hopefully not, because the AKs are not far away for G2.
Yeah, I don't think they will. There's no need. And hopefully, considering again sort of that mentality that we saw earlier where they're like, hey, there's 4 of us left alive, but our positioning is awful for this retake, so we're just going to hold for exits and save the guns into the next round. Like, that kind of discipline from G2 really suggests that they're really thinking about this properly. They want to show a very good tournament here. They've got a spot where, as you say, they can just play the AKs in the next round, so we're going to see that. They're going to get this one over with quickly. Quick monster rush. Run through the front through the flames. Die. They don't care, I don't think. Will be annihilated. Or maybe they won't. Okay, they will. They're all annihilated, James.
Oh, MBK with P250. Get some range onto Mir, who was already in the red. But now MBK is dead. 2 picks for G2. Fair enough. They rushed B with a few pistols and no grenades whatsoever. So I think that's a pretty good round for them. Note how the Molotov did not stop them from running. You know who you are, people out there in the audience. Just keep on running, keep on trucking. Both these teams now on the buy. JR on the AWP, 5 AKs for G2. What is the play from the Frenchman? Kashanda and Chopper looking to get aggressive early. Chopper making his way through the connector area. Kashanda in the party around the smoke. Kashanda keeps going. Mir and Hutchie are in support on long. This is a very aggressive build from Vega Squadron.
G2 though, they are playing really passively. It's as though they expect it, and Vega Squadron are creating a reputation for themselves of having a lot of aggression on their CT side. We saw it against FaZe. That's how they beat FaZe, was that ruthless and confident aggression. And G2, they are looking very cognizant to this. Look how paranoid almost they are. I don't want to necessarily use that word, but maybe not paranoid enough. MBK goes down. Kashanda denies the trade frag with a UMP. This is a good look so far for Vega, as Kenny is looking for more players. He's alone with the bomb though.
In JR, the Vega Squadron trust. This is an aggressive setup where they actually have pretty much everything covered. Yes, JR's got 2 jobs to do at once towards the bomb site, but normally with an aggressive CT clear overpass, long is left, or toilets is left. You don't have eyes there, but they have eyes everywhere. And again, JR may be a nasty surprise, just keeps going between Monster and Short, but now people are starting to swarm on his position. Shock slowly creeping in. Has he spotted something? Not JR. Teammate baiting for him as he's making his way into the B bomb site, and JR is cleaning up, so this is working out quite well for Vega Squadron. JR is taking some pre-fires now, spotting body, and his teammates on Short, and that's going to be the last frag. Only 2 players lost for Vega Squadron. Quite aggressive indeed.
Yeah, that's something that was really cool that we didn't see really enough of from QBM Flash earlier. These kind of setups. Look how aware JR is of how the setup between himself and his teammate works. When his teammate gets into position, he understands exactly how to play it the most optimal way, sort of the bait and switch sort of setup. He's never really exposed. Once the teammate comes into position to Short, his teammate can take contact first, and he can get the peek in. It's really awesome to see that level of discipline and routine. And now we'll go into the next round where Vega Squadron have more breathing room. They don't have to worry about rifles. It's just some pistols for G2. I say just some pistols for G2. We all know what they're capable of with some deagles. They have 3. MBK gets some good damage. Could get a finish. Yes, he will. Very nice stuff from him. And that's going to be problematic for Vega, because not only is that a kill and a gun, that's a lot of space on the map.
And there are 4 bodies for G2. Apex has eyes on long all the way into the A site. That's a lot of information for G2 at this moment. Still 3 people in B for Vega with 2 smokes down, and Shox is rotating away from the B bomb side as well, so they're going to put everything into this. Apex spotted towards long, but that's not the bomb. JR rotating from his position. He knows all the eyes there, going to the stairs. JR is everywhere, but he's got his bell rung. He's down to 7 HP.
Not a good situation here, but looks like they are going to be controlling things as more riflers come into play. They can go for the wide peaks. The confidence with those multiple players, still losing some health here, but they'll only, in the end, somehow lose 2 players. So, in my mind, that looked a lot more disastrous, but then sort of as the dust settles and you sort of analyze, just take an assessment, you're like, oh, actually, that's not too bad.
Hudgy was still on the B bomb site because G2 managed to obscure vision of the bomb for such a long time that they ended up giving themselves a better situation versus 2 players than versus 3. But 2 players were enough versus the pistols. Now G2 are back on the buy, including Kenny on the AWP. Snipers on both sides, 5-round lead. Chopper in the connector once again. He may have a nasty surprise should he head that way, but Kenny will quickly exit and leave body to it as the smoke goes down.
Go ahead.
Hutchin and Kashanda are close to connector, outside the toilets, and Mir is in a tree position on long. Once again, JR has been left alone on the B-bomb side.
Yeah, and it's quite cool to see that, because you can kind of bait the T's into thinking that if they can just gain positions towards toilets, they actually isolate the players holding into connector, and that's why they're actually stacking 4 in total towards A. This is actually, they want G2 to come into the A positions, and that's exactly what's going to happen, and you can see why. They get these crossfires as G2 say, hey, you're isolated in connector, we're going to go and kill you. That's Vega's time to strike, and that is a very well played setup from them. G2 not anticipating that and being punished. Choxo, he could have made the difference, but surely now there's no way back in the round.
That was Shox's kill all day, but JR, presence of mind, he knows he hasn't peeked there for a while, and he's fast. He is fast. That was the frag which gives...
I thought you said he was vast for a second.
That's the frag that gives G2 an opening into the B-bomb site, but no, denied. And Kenny, you see, he just walks in 180, scoped in, because if he unscopes and scopes in, he may compromise his position with the sound of the scope, so he will continue for as long as he deems necessary in this fashion. Does mean he moves slower, but it is what it is. 10 seconds remain for him to hold on to the sniper. Kashanda's starting to move forward through the connector position, so maybe there'll be a late engagement.
I think as well, G2 in the last couple of rounds when they're trying to really push in towards A, that's generally, you know, you saying, hey, you know, we think we're the better team and we have more skill, you can get higher value out of playing towards A. And G2 are going to be taking a tactical now just to sort of assess the situation, and they may have to start going for these sewers takes. And one thing that we saw from Misfits yesterday was, or no, even the day before even, it was how they had one player always throwing the same, you know, Molotovs and smokes and flashes towards the sewers position, even if they were not intending to actually like go there that round, and vice versa. And I think G2 now, they're going to be considering sewers heavily because Vega are shutting down A plays really well, and they're often playing players into connector, so taking sewers could be really high value.
G2 have not won a round in this half yet, and I think all of 3 rounds, actually you can see in the middle there, all of 3 rounds have been won by T sides. So that doesn't necessarily bode well for G2 if they are going to suffer a T side in the same fashion. They're only 4 rounds ahead now. They've got that max loss bonus. So we'll see what Kenny can do with his AWP. He's the man in this round. He's the man. NBK though has a deagle as well. That's really unlucky. I can only assume that he started strafing before he fired his shot, but that's given a game away for a good 20 seconds now.
This is cool from his Shox. This information he gets in the connector area is more sort of suggestive as to where the other CTs actually are, because you can sort of use that as information to deduce that. But G2, they're going to be starting to cycle through the monster, getting some nice damage there. Only making a kill, and there's an opportunity for G2 now, even though they only have some pistols. The pistols might be enough. We'll have to see Chopper now moving into the fray, and he'll get himself 3 quick kills. And that should be the end of the shenanigans here from G2.
Or is it? Shox has 4 bullets left. Shox is dead. Never mind. Vega Squadron prevail. But again, that was the eco round from G2. That was the eco round. Kenny's money is awkward because he lost the round by timeout when he was alive, so he won't have money for the sniper rifle. He's down to the Galil. But they lined up for Chopper. 3 rounds between them now. 9-12. G2 still looking for their first round in the second half. It is missing, as are all the glorious kills we saw in the first. Vega Squadron enacting revenge, sinking their teeth in deep at the moment. And again, the aggression continues with Kashanda. Not finding anything though, he will back off. A different approach. JR's, again, he's been left alone towards B, and Shox has started creeping in slowly but surely. This time JR's over towards A. Hutchie and Chopper are in B, so if Shox tries to play on the previous information, he may get absolutely ruined. JR spotted though towards toilets.
Oof. Oh, okay. I thought he was safe. Maybe he did too. But that last lick of damage was enough from Kenny. Kashanda in position, looking to potentially challenge another player as well to support him. It is going to be Mir with the backup, and he's going to lead the charge there, finding Kenny. Is there a trade? Spotted out Apex. Kashanda baiting Mir for the frag, and Mir will stay alive. This is a beautiful setup that's been run for Vega towards the A side of the map, and G2 have it, but the cost was very high.
In the meantime, Hutchie pushed through Monster. Shox seemed to be looking for it from the short B position. I don't exactly know what went on there, but Hutchie's back into B. Shox is looking for an opening. Chopper's also there by the barrels, so there could be a trade situation coming in later. Mir's made his way in now as well, so there's a burst opening from Shox, but he's got more to find. He may not expect 2 players there. Around the pillar will be Hutchie. The bomb though hasn't started rotating towards B. Shox has gone to die on his sword. NBK and Bonnie are going towards A.
Yeah, I think that information from Shox really makes it certain that they can have an advantage if they move quickly. The shot's missed by Kashanda. Opportunity is there for G2. They just have to strike whilst the iron is hot, and that's going to be NBK with the kill. But so much time has passed, and speaking of time, only 10 seconds to plant the bomb. NBK's hand is simply forced. Surely now they know that it can't be a fake, and Mir can happily run through and take him down. NBK, oh, he did actually get the bomb planted there. So that's some extra money. That's a round for Vega, and they are showing us that, hey, maybe they, you know, it's a struggle on that T side, but their CT sides in this tournament as a whole have been very cool to see.
Yeah, perhaps it's time for us to recognize that while they are still underdogs, they've been together so long that you have to expect more than reasonable sides from them.
I think, did Jason actually pick them against G2 again? Was he the only one?
He did. We can't give this to him 2 days in a row. We can't.
The smugness the green room would explode spontaneously.
Buy round for both sides. The plant allows this to be a buy round for G2 instead of an eco. Mir has jumped into the balcony position, but he seems to want to keep going. And there are a lot of G2 players here. Grenades will fly in. The bomb spotted. The trade is there though. No other CTs close. The bomb can be rescued. 3 smokes around the B bomb site. Kashaka, again, he is just salivating for more aggression, but this time he's gone too far. A minute 20 on the clock in a 4 versus 3. G2 will probably slow it down, but they've got so many advantages now.
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting because we're asking Vega Squadron if they want to win this round to actually create some kind of crazy clutches because they have no grenades. They've got 2 flashbangs. G2, on the other hand, they are full of utility. Molotovs, smokes, flashes. And they have the numbers advantage as well, 4 versus 3. So with all of that said and done, Vega are only really left to make hero plays against the likes of G2. Now that would be something, wouldn't it? Bomb is collected by Apex. And G2 have been using the time that was afforded to them to sort of get as much information as possible to inform them as best as they can as to what is the best play here. And it looks like they're settling towards the B bomb site. Time is of the essence now. 30 seconds to go.
Clock is being run down. They know JR is out there somewhere. And that's just not nice. However, they seem to have circumvented him for the time being. Molotov's flying, I think, towards the barrel position. The flashbang is there. Chopper is going to get 3 kills out of this. How has he done this? Chopper, 4 kills. That is ridiculous.
My God. My goodness, we asked for a hero play, and Chopper delivers in spades. Oh man, JR didn't even need it to be used. A 2 versus 4 here, and they were both playing around the pillars. This setup has been so damn successful in this matchup against G2 so far, and it's going to force another tactical timeout from the French. G2 now starting to wonder, what do we have to do to take rounds against Vega Squadron CT side? We can't win the A battle. We can't win when we have a crazy advantage on utility and the numbers advantage piling into a bomb site. What is going wrong?
Chopper on 22 kills, leading the scoreboard now, leading the server. Oh man, that was devastating. Devastating.
Very impressive, isn't it? I mean, this is, one thing we saw again yesterday against FaZe was the fact that Vega Squadron, individually, they were really not only confident, but just very, very on point. And I guess we're not used to seeing that against the best players individually that you could ask for in the world. This has been a hard route for them, but can they make it a 3-0? That would just be unthinkable, surely.
Moses, right now, is rubbing his hands together. I guarantee it. No presence towards B for G2. They may be looking for a faster play, but Vega Squadron have gone for some, they've looked for some intel towards B with a boost over short B, and they haven't seen anyone there, and they've rotated JR and Mir back towards the A site. So they've got 3 people in A now. So they may be anticipating this play from G2. 1 grenade down long, which would suggest that people could get close, and there's a lot of movement on A from Vega Squadron, a lot of repositioning. Hutchie and Chopper look to be getting aggressive towards B. They might go for more information plays. Miss though, he's been spotted through the corner of the smoke. He might be able to escape. Apex forced to run back as he runs out of bullets. They're so close now, G2, but who's going to take the first kill?
Great pop flash there for the first frag. JR out of the picture as well. Down to Mir, very awkward. Pistol tried to be drawn there, but it's not going to be happening. Kenya shuts it down, and it's a 2v3 here. There's no grenades for Chopper and Hutchie to work off of. Again, it's going to have to be the shots, but nothing to deny Chopper. Out of the bank, into the potential engagements, but the bomb plan is favorable for G2. They fell back to the toilets. This will be a very tough retake.
Slowly creeping in. Shock still dancing around the bomb site, delivering a kill on the Chopper, and Hutchie is left 1 versus 2 now. The bomb continues to tick. He has a kit. He doesn't have much health. No smoke grenades, no flashes, no nothing. It's got to go for the kills. Running out of time. Kenny's facing, but Hutchie's got to run for it. He knows that there's too much dancing between these 2 players. Shoulder peeking as he tries to defuse the bomb, so he'll try to hold on to what he has.
I wonder, did they outplay themselves here? Because this is, if we look at this round and compare it to all the others, they were very, very passive, and they looked very paranoid of a rush, and they allowed G2 to basically just run a set piece onto them. And so, I mean, the strength we've seen of Vega Squadron is when they play aggressively on the CT side in most cases, and they create weird situations in the mid round. And so I feel like maybe they outplayed themselves there.
Well, they had a good read as to what might have been going on, so they positioned themselves accordingly. To have 3 people holding the A site can be strong, but didn't work out for him on this occasion. Saving that gun was very important for Vega Squadron. They are able to buy around it. They had some money. It wasn't amazing, but that extra 5,000 or so saved from the previous round will be very handy for this one. This is a key round, a pivotal round. Assuming there's no bomb plant for the T side, whoever loses this is going to be in a lot of trouble because money is low and it has significant implications. There are ways around it, but your odds are a lot lower than they otherwise are. So 2 players starting in B for Vega Squadron. Always fun to watch because of how that changes. And the aggression is bad towards Lock. Kashanda's blind, but he still manages to get a kill. Look at the trade. It's 4 people dead in 5 seconds.
Yeah, actually, Vega quite unlucky not to get an additional kill onto MBK there for that 3 versus, or even potentially 4 versus 2. That trade looks really nicely set up from them. The battle of the pop flashes, and again, this is what Vega are very good at, these early round aggressions, and it seems like from that perspective, Overpass very suitable for them, as we see now Shox just gaining information, and he's been, often we can see him doing this, sort of playing more towards a lurker role as well, and that is very important. Can he find the jump onto JR? That's the question. JR is the man to stop this potential push, and he will be successful and fall back onto the side. That's a big frag, especially with MBK so low.
As that frag was coming in, Hutchie had a look through a smoke on short B to see if anybody was there, and he sees no one. But JR appears to be rotating towards B anyway, so maybe they have a read that it could be a monster. So I mean, let's see what G2 choose to do, but there's no vision towards the toilets now for the CT side, as you could see. No action, and JL starting to rotate back towards A. So Vega Squadron being very proactive, and meanwhile Chopper is starting to move down long. He's starting to flank these players, and they're taking so long to get to the site while all this information seeking is going on for Vega Squadron. And now Chopper's charging. Who is going to win this?
Oh, he's actually got great timing on this one. As they started pushing onto the site, they want to plant towards the truck and potentially as they look to clear. There's the check, but Body had no idea. MBK is completely exposed to Chopper, and his might is now another round for Vega. And just as you said, James, that is not a round that either team could afford to lose. G2 have an advantage on rounds, but that may dissipate now as they have been reset. The bomb plant will be quite helpful, and they had a smidgen left in the bank, but they will have to really save if they want to have a full buy into the following round.
Often in European CS, at least, well, probably North American as well, you'll see a team try and slow things down on the T side after an explosive start, but that doesn't seem to be working against Vega Squadron because they're doing so much information seeking. If they see that there's a lot going on in one part of the map, they may feel like they've got an opportunity to sneak a peek somewhere else, and then there's just so many moving parts to Vega Squadron that G2 are allowing the net to close around them without even realizing it. It's like
no one told Vega Squadron they're on the CT side. They're like playing 2 T sides at the moment, which is amazing. And I think, I forget who it was, maybe Yanko at one point said that at the moment in CSGO, it is like, on the CT side, it can often be like playing a mini T side because of all the aggressions that you would want to take. And this map is so friendly towards that sort of a style. And that is what makes it a great map to watch. More passive setup here as the anticipation is against the pistols. Nice shot there onto the likes of JR, but he did get a frag, and Kashanda will fall back. He takes some damage as well. He just has to hold here, just has to get his teammates into position. He's got the bomb at his feet. That's a nice one.
He has bought so much time for his team in this situation. Fantastic job by Kashanda. Backing off, doesn't need to engage those players, spam them with grenades, buy time for his team. Anticipation, pre-fire to get that kill. Bomb is a bonus. Lovely stuff. The score is tied. G2 have won 1 round in this half.
I take it back, the whole sardines thing. I mean, Vega, they are looking just as good as they have been looking this entire tournament so far against G2, even after a cripplingly bad start, which really tells you a lot about this team and their composure. JR looking for the connector peek with the AWP. Doesn't see anything just yet. With that quick timing peek, we'll get the hell out of dodge. If you do stay around too long a connector, you can easily get isolated as your smokes die down and the T's progress towards A. But look at G2 at the moment. They're incredibly passive. Shox has gained position towards the connector, the sewers position. Usually with this sort of a setup where Shox just sits in sewers, usually from my memory, G2 would often just go towards A, and Shox obviously leaves open the possibility that they can double back through to B, or if things go badly, he'll take a pick into B.
Chopper's had 19 kills this round, this half, sorry. Meanwhile, Shox is on 5, Apex is on 2, Body is on 3. It's NBK and Kenny doing the heavy lifting at the moment. But it seems too heavy for all of them. As Vega Squadron look to take the lead late in this game of Overpass. Currently 4 CTs in the B bomb site, with Kashanda trying to figure out what's going on towards A. Again, JR is on the rotation. The grenades start to sail in, but there's still a fair distance with G2, taking it slowly. That might give time for JR and Mir to get onto the site. Kashanda's been spotted now, and he spotted Shox as well, but still shoulder picking. Now maybe trying to bait for his team. Doesn't need to engage, they just need to know he's there to allow JR to take a line elsewhere, and here it is.
Really smart positioning from Kashanda, falling back all the way. It does mean JR is exposed, though. That's the problem with this. Now the long players wrap in, and this take is really good. Mir with a quick one as he comes up the stairs, but just as quickly as he comes, he will disappear as Kenny S takes position now. A very hard to deal with off angle. They're up the stairs. Chopper won't even be looking for that. Kenny and Shox, hand in hand, will finish it off. And Vega Squadron, they were too indecisive, seemingly, and eventually G2 just got too far up, and you can see that Kashanda and JR's positions were sort of, they couldn't play off of each other because their teammates were, they had to fall too far back before the reinforcements came in. So I have to see if there's an adjustment in the future from that, and even whether G2 also can keep it up.
Well, there may not be much of a future, because despite getting smashed for most of the half, that is the round G2 needed to win. Look at what it's done to what Vega Squadron have, down to the pistols on 2 players. And now even if they choose to get aggressive, it's not going to be easy. Chopper and Hutchie making plays towards short B. Meanwhile, JR gets off to a good start. JR has an AWP. That's always a problem, regardless of what your team have.
And already getting 1 frag, there's 2, holding into connector, a solo Kenny S going down. Shox! He wants to get revenge, and he almost got himself the full revenge. At least 1 will do for now, as MBK has taken some more position with Body towards the A side of the map, but still you have Kashanda in this position, but in connector, he can't really move. And JR's going to know that this is happening. Can JR catch MBK as he comes back out? He's got an angle for this, I do believe, but does MBK realize?
They're almost surrounded. Well, they more or less are, but Shox has found the hole. And it's going to be down to Shox to try and find out what's going on elsewhere, while his teammates wait to see what is safe.
That's a big off angle from Chopper. If they go out the door, he's very, very likely to get a frag. I think the door is closed. Oh, it's actually open, but still, Chopper will have a lot of time to get at least 1 kill, and that could be very problematic.
Yeah, but if Shox peeks short B, Chopper, it's going to be really hard for him to get a kill with a CZ from that position. But Body's going to pop out the door while Shox is making noise. But the bomb's being dropped now. 25 seconds, Hutchie dropping the smoke, but surely the spray will be there. But it's a spray for the CT side. It's down to NBK. He's got to run through the smoke. There's only 20 seconds left. He's got to get in before the other CT rotates. Looking around the pillar, and the bait is unbelievable.
Oh man, honestly, James, I'm so impressed by Vega Squadron, because, in fact, I don't want to say Vega Squadron, I'm impressed by them individually, because the decision making is so on point. Again, you know, you mentioned Kashanda, but previously, some of the way I've seen his movement around the site has been so strong. We just saw Hutchie understanding perfectly that there was a split coming in. He had a bit of the info, he understands the timing, does whip the spray there, but just understanding to drop the smoke and how he needs to play around it was just fantastic.
G2 might have to play for overtime. Nope. They're going for the force buy.
Oh my god.
I thought the odds were low, in fairness, it is G2 after all, but here we go. I mean, there is no wrong decision necessarily here, because it is a very rough spot for them. It is rough. 14 apiece, and they have 1 AK-47. They'll have 2. Body's got 4100. Still have 2 AK-47s and a bunch of pistols. But it's an interesting decision, because it's been so hard for them to win 1 round here or there on a full buy. And they've chosen to go with this.
Maybe it's about the power of speed with those pistols. That could make the difference, but they aren't going for a full-out rush, which makes sense. And, you know, you don't want to run into the counter grenades. You can see here, just pre-Molotovs and so on from Vega. They know the money's broken for G2. They know that G2 are desperate, that they may do anything. And they're giving them the respect that they deserve as top-tier players and a top-tier team. But can G2 do it? Here they push in through the flames. Looking good here for Vega, though.
Well, this is quite contained. The hazmat suits are out, and G2 are in quarantine for that round. Again, I don't think there's a bad choice in there, but look, considering how hard it's been for either T side to win a bye round,
I mean,
I think I would prefer playing for overtime. But here we are.
I can definitely agree with you there. I mean, also it does just say, hey, we respect you guys, that you're playing so incredibly well. And the thing as well about this is that you can often say that best of ones, variants, all this kind of stuff. But I'm looking at it this way: Vega, obviously, the games we've seen them win, they have played remarkably well. But then, to make this run, if they do actually defeat G2 here, which they have massive advantages and are absolute shoo-ins to do so, they will have run through FaZe and then G2 to do it. That is just, I am without words to describe that.
G2 took a gamble. The gamble did not pay off, and they find themselves with 4 CZs and a bunch of flashbangs and smoke grenades. Would you have it any other way, all things considered? I'm sure their fans would. Vega Squadron are full equipped. They have everything they would want. Surely G2 cannot do this. The aggression continues. Kashanda looking around the smoke and then backing off. No one lurking outside B for the time being. 3 people in B for Vega Squadron, and Mir's keeping an eye on the goings-on in short B, but now rotating, it seems, back towards A. G2 being very careful, taking the map control slowly and surely, but look again how active Vega Squadron are. They've got 2 players in long, they've got a bait set up once again, JR holding the angle, but he's got 2 jobs to do, and then Kashanda's there for support.
Yeah, and you can see the pop flash there so that Kashanda can make a play here, not isolated by the smoke. And that's so brilliant.
God.
He's pounded everything, hasn't he? He can go in the back here. Oh, that's a very fast headshot from Apex. And another bullet to finish it off. The CZ.
No, he's on the bomb!
And he does manage to survive though, just barely, but he's not staying out there. He's missing another shot. This is very awkward at the moment.
Apex has got the bomb. What's going on? Does he know he's got the bomb? That's so crazy. He's alone on long. Is he going to push through the smoke? JR's gone down. Maybe it'll just work for them. The shock and awe, they're all over the place. They're swarming like the Zerg army. And Hutchie's alone. They're going to make it work. This fourth fight is absurd. 4 versus 1. Hutchie has to press some kind of nuclear button to win this one. Oh, are you serious? Okay, the bomb went down first. 1 versus 3. There's still only 1 rifle on his 2 plays. Hutchie, okay. 1 versus 2 now. He's got all the time in the world. He's got a smoke grenade making his way through. Pre-firing. He's got a 1v1 on 10 if he can find it. Running out of bullets, so he's got 7 bullets left in the AK. Looking for the headshot, but he's running out the CZ. Somehow he gets it out. How is it still going on? Kenny just dancing around, shocks in the smoke. And we are going to overtime. Holy potatoes.
What the hell's going on? Everyone take a breather. That was quite the ride. What on earth was this round from both teams?
He was flying in the air, Dan. He was airborne.
And the thing is, JR, like, not only does Apex is he able to win the first 1v1, and then he's just like just fighting against JR.
Look,
he can barely believe it. He's like, guys, I had the bomb on long, by the way. didn't realize.
C'est quoi ça? This is a lost route.
I don't understand. There's no way that he realized that, because if JR had 2 shots at him, if he gets 1 of those kills, his team was already committed to the side push.
Apex is like, I don't know, man. That's some bar salts right there. I don't know what he's doing. Re-peaking multiple times the AWP on long with the bomb.
And that's like the only time we've seen JR.
He's playing in traffic, Dan. He's playing in traffic.
Well, either way, overtime 1. Vega Squadron versus G2, trying to make it work here. Trying to make that 3-0 a dream. First they topple the FaZe. Can they do it against G2? The story continues here on Overpass, with G2 staying on the T side, and an aggression from Vega is how they want to kick things off here as they look in towards the fountain and see nothing.
JR is everywhere. It's great to see a sniper with all the freedom in the world. When do you see a sniper get that angle with 1:30 on the clock? JR is awesome to watch. I didn't even have a Go TV fit, but since we're in overtime, get your eyes on JR. Kashanda, aggressive once again. Now, Vega Squadron don't want to get into the situation where G2 just sit and wait for this aggression and then punish them for it. It is 4 versus 4, however. And we know how active Vega like to be. But they've got very forward positions in the toilets, sorry, in long A, JR and Mir. No eyes in toilets, and JR is once again rotating elsewhere. But it seems he might be inclined to go towards B, and he might be right, because there is a pilgrimage in that direction.
And a nice opening has been found. G2 something's off well here. Again, they found so many troubles against the CT side of Vega. But this is certainly a good start. JR, though, lurking around the smoke, finds himself a quick one. 3 more to go, and MBK controls the rotation, and that's now it for JR. Has to back away. You have to be cautious with your money if you're an AWPer in particular on the CT side. If you lose 2 rounds in this format in a row, you won't have enough money for that 3rd round.
I bet Moses was celebrating. Oh, that's a nice shot.
He makes it look very, very easy indeed, doesn't he?
Yeah. There may be no bubbles in the champagne for Moses, depending on how this goes. The first overtime round goes the way of G2. Perhaps they have found themselves some momentum on what seems to be a very unfavourable T side for both teams.
Oh, that's huge. Oh no, that's a disaster. He can get an AWP again, but he won't have many grenades. He's going to have to forfeit the Kevlar if he wants it.
Tactical timeout from Vega Squadron. It is their last timeout of the match. So, better use it wisely. Indeed, the AWP not saved is a problem in overtime. If you're not familiar, it is 3 rounds a half, and you start with $10,000, considering it's like 6,000 or 7,000 for 1 buy per player on the CT side. But AWP is very expensive indeed, and Vega Squadron won't have one for this round. Okay. Now this is Sadat. Shox has bought a second AWP on the T side. Let's see how it goes.
Not a big fan, but we'll see.
In fairness, I think this is a reliable approach versus CTs who are just constantly pushing to just hold an angle. I think that's the idea behind this, because look again, quite predictably, Kashanda is going for a push. 2 kills very quickly here for G2, and again, you have to. There's a fine balance between offering aggression and offering the threat of aggression, as opposed to physically offering it every single round. And because eventually this is what happens. Yeah,
and it's also a thing about unfamiliarity, isn't it? When Vega are playing against a team like G2 don't have really LAN experience against Vega in particular, so some of the upfront tendencies that you'll be exposed to, well, as the rounds continue to play out, they start to see patterns, they start to see trends, they start to get better at adapting to what exactly Vega are doing, just as you're saying. So the longer this goes on, the more likely it is that G2 will win this, and it maybe could already get that there, because this is a horrible start for Vega at the beginning of this overtime.
At this point, I would like to see Shox swap out for a rifle. I don't think in the 4 versus 3 that the double AWP is longer necessary, and it's still necessary. And at this point, you're looking to execute onto a site where you're probably going to see maximum 2 players. I don't think you want 2 AWPs anymore. Kenny's creeping in towards Monster, but again, Chopper and JR are being active, but they've made the wrong guess. They're going towards the B-bomb site, where Kenny is, and when Kenny is spotted, whether he gets a frag or not, they're going to start charging in. So he has sold them something, and it's looking quite dodgy at the moment. In the meantime, G2 are still walking towards A. You need to start running, boys. Come on.
Yeah, they just saw both players, so they understand now, and there it is. The bomb will be planted in front of the container for toilets, and should be fine here. Vega, there's surely no way that they can win this one, and they have a very hard decision to make. They have no money. If Vega lose this round, they're going to be relegated to pistols, armor, and a couple grenades. So there's a really big argument to save, especially considering that JR has an AWP.
Yeah. And
thank God they're going for it, because otherwise, honestly, it's going to be a very bad look in the next round. So in doing so, they'll give themselves a chance. But I do wonder whether or not G2 will go with that double AWP approach again, if they will go and seek out that additional AWP. Oh, actually, no, sorry, JR picked it up. Sorry, I'm a silly man.
I think we should have a turn, like believe in the skill, because often you see people selling a fake, but the rest of their team take too long to activate it.
Yeah.
But it's not often you see Kenny faking with an AWP, so that's a pretty good sale if you ask me. I'm buying every time.
He's so fast, so fast. Well, 17-15, a rip-roaring start for G2 in the overtime, and
they've gone for it then. Double ops again.
Nice.
But I mean, ultimately, if they think the play works, the money doesn't matter at this point, so why not?
And the thing as well here is that G2 struggled to get T rounds in regulation, and now they are flying. So this does not bode well for Vega. Oh, hello. JR will take that every day. An offering of Apex, a sacrifice to the gods of Vega, to the shark gods.
I feel like G2 are unlucky there, because if they're half a second faster, I think they get the kill there. However, maybe they're never half a second faster, and maybe that's the way it will go. 3 CTs in B. Mir, Chopper, Hutchie, just waiting, moving a fair bit. They're both blind. I don't know who threw a flash there. In the meantime, Shox is going towards short B. And for those of you at home, bear in mind, he scoped in earlier on and he walks the entire way, because if he's close here and then he starts scoping, the scope is heard by Mir on the other side of the wall. If he walks from an earlier position and he scopes in, there's no warning until perhaps it is too late. Case in point, there goes Mir.
And now where's the next peak? Body was trying to harass from Monster, and now they know that Shox is still there. And this is really interesting. The bomb is actually down at the moment. They're just trying to frag out a little bit. And now there's 40 seconds left. It's a 3v3. They have to go back for the bomb. They have to start concocting an approach that involves some level of team play, because they are incredibly split at this point. But they can bring together the information. But JR, he's got information and a kill of his own, and that's going to allow himself to be able to, cement the call for his teammates. Guys, it's going to be B, and Vega have a good chance to hold this.
Shox swapped out his sniper rifle for the AK-47, but there is dirt in the water, although that's been cleaned out entirely. 14 seconds for the bomb to go down. JR is trying to get as close as possible while one person is busy planting the bomb, and he makes it. Assuming he's been heard in the water, he'll have to assume that as well. Playing around the smoke, he's got to know somebody's in the site itself. Are you serious? There's no way. There's surely no way.
No way.
Okay. The French are pretty damn happy with that. A clean T half. 3 match points for them.
Going for that defuse there, that is like the ultimate disrespect play, because it's like you're basically saying, I actually think there's a world where in this like 2v1 that you guys don't kill me when I'm just holding in the smoke. But to be honest, there is a world where that can actually work.
Well, it wasn't looking good. I mean, Shox had his knife out and Kenny was on the P250 trying to spam away.
Yeah.
So
I mean, to be honest, it's actually a gamble that works a surprising amount of times. So I respect that.
I think 1 out of 10 times that works. And I really wish that was the 1 out of 10 times. I would have been so happy, but there we are. It is the French who are happy, and really, this has to be... I mean, Jason might need someone to talk to at this point if G2 are to win this. Because Vega Squadron had the match won, and then CZ.
Yeah, that was really interesting. It's gonna be really fun to listen to what the desk have to say about this game after, because there's been a lot of really interesting spots, and I think a lot of credit has to be thrown to Vega, just whichever way you sort of look at this game. And they're not out of it. They're really looking amazing so far. So really fun. Let's see if they can get some kind of a comeback into the second half. It's going to be a tough one. G2 seem to have found some answers here. I think they've learned the tendencies. Chopper going for the entry. He's going to be successful. 5 versus 4 with a minute and a half left. You love to see that if you're on a T side.
And again, Chopper instantly rotates towards the monster position, trying to pull, twist, contort the bodies of the G2 players on the B bomb site. He's taken 1 out of action, put them on the hospital bed, on the stretcher. But there's still 2 more entertained. Almost missing the CT aggression of Vega Squadron. G2 with a very different approach. Body will take out Chopper. Body went for a monster push there to get information of his own, but JR has replaced Chopper's position, and they may not expect this. They may rotate towards the A side. It looks like they're doing that. Mir may be selling them. Body and Apex are rotating out of B, and Kashanda and JR are walking in.
And Body's spotting, but he doesn't see anything just yet. And everybody's creeping towards the positions. They might just get a bomb down. There is the smoke, and now G2 are going to start to realize beautiful wall of smoke there to cover the bomb plant, and they're going to try to look over the top of the wall with this boost. Apex, though, there's only a certain amount of time they can hold for this, and that is, whilst they're waiting for the rotation of the teammates. But right now, Vega look really good. JR, I have no idea how he hit that one. Beautiful, though.
4-3. Clock continues to tick. Do you want to save G2? You need 1 round from 3. Apex moving, and he's committing to this, but will the AWP as well? They're in the side, they're looking for entries. Hachi shutting down Apex through Monster. Point of no return as well, being crossed by G2. And it's too late to get the defuse. He cannot escape the site either. All he can do is try to fight, take out some more players. They're hunting for him, but they know he can't escape. And there it is. Everybody will fall. That's 1 round down, 2 to go for Vega Squadron.
What a game. Again, this is, even though you say, okay, G2 are learning, they're starting to figure out the stuff that Vega are doing, getting sort of accustomed to how they're playing. Vega are just, again, like in fight, their team play is great and they're hitting shots really cleanly. And that is where you would expect, okay, this is where G2 can get the advantage. Just on the individual battle, surely Vega can't be as good over an extended period of time, but so far they're matching up. And a quicker play here from them. Mir trying to be very cheeky indeed, but not allowed by G2.
G2 have gone all in this round. Double orbs again. There's no money left in the bank. If they lose this round, it's pretty much double overtime unless the Caesars come out again and prevail. But they're looking good. 5 versus 3. No way into the site, it seems. And there are still smokes down. JR carrying the bomb. 8 HP. Really has to pick his positions wisely with his AWP. Look at the paranoia, looking towards T spawn, while Chopper tries to get something done towards B, but they've just re-smoked again the CT side. 3 people holding steadfast in the B bomb site. NBK on the high ground. Kenyes in the meantime, keeping an eye on A. Clock is ticking on Vega Squadron.
Desperation really starting to set in, isn't it? It's a very hard spot to play from. They need a massive hero play again, and with everything on the line, at least this is not them being eliminated. Should they lose it, that's a bit of pressure they don't have to worry about. But Kashanda looking to be the one to make the opening. He's the only player that can really create some space. It's too difficult, I think, for Chopper to go for that B peak. Kashanda creeping his way forwards. Can he find a blind spot? He's got some info. I think he was spotted. Kenny ready. Very good positioning here from G2. Not putting anything to chance as JR goes for the last ditch attempt here. Now just Chopper, and 1 by 1 they will be taken down. G2 somehow saving this game from the brink. Unbelievable.
Talk about high pressure situations. I almost think that's the kind of game that G2 needed to get through. I think that does great stuff for them moving forward in this tournament. But Vega Squadron got to keep their focus in the game. They're still in the tournament, but they will feel like they had that one until the CZs came out, the French special, more common than a baguette. And it keeps G2 in the game. Unbelievable. That was really entertaining to watch.
I'm just impressed, and then more impressed every time I see Vega Squadron at this tournament. They're showing a huge degree of class. Again, good understanding of strategy, tactics. The in-fight is really strong. You know, the team play. They just, every single player, I'm seeing some great decision making, and it really fills me with confidence. You know, looking at this team moving forwards, and we had that idea earlier, that they're actually one of the longest standing lineups that we have in CS:GO, which most people might not understand. Amazing stuff. Looking really forward to seeing them again.
After the break, we will have an interview with the winning team and thoughts of the desks.